What's up? It's Big A, the Man Geek, and right here in front of me I've got Nightwing, the New Order, issue 2. I really enjoyed the first issue. I thought it was kind of Secret Empire but done right. You know what I mean? It was the world changing and becoming something else due to Dick Grayson using a device to help rid people of super and magical powers, and so therefore there's a new kind of world order, I guess, in regards to how things are policed and as to how the public views superheroes or people with powers, and they have them suppressed. And Dick Grayson's the head of what's known as the Crusaders, which essentially are those guys on the front cover there. They're like Batmen. Essentially, that's pretty much what they are. They're called Crusaders, obviously after Caped Crusader. So yeah, they've got these Batmen, and what happened in the last issue is Dick's son Jake Grayson, it was revealed that he had superpowers, and from the shot that they showed of him presenting his powers, you could kind of tell who his mum was. And so in this issue, you actually get that information. They more or less say it without actually having to say it, because you already knew it anyway. But the front cover I'm really liking. I'm liking these propaganda style covers that look like posters, propaganda posters. I just think they're really good, and they give you a great idea as to the feel of this comic book. But yeah, when you get right into it, there's flashbacks to the past and as to the kind of things that were going on, and it's explained to us things just got worse, and it just got to a point where Dick Grayson just kind of did something about it. It changed the world, and not only that, it kind of threw him into the limelight, and he's the one who's kind of seen as being responsible for it. So there you've got Jake's mum right there, so everyone knows who that is. It's Starfire, and yeah, you've got the flashback here as to after he used the device to rid people of their powers. We get to see exactly as to what happened, and it's kind of like he wasn't the one pushing for this. Things just seemed to happen around him, and things just got out of control. Essentially, he was the poster boy for all this stuff. So it's not really something that he had control over, like the statue being built in his honor, someone trying to assassinate him, him being made the head of like the department for the Crusaders, just being like a mega celeb. All of it just happened around him. He wasn't really in control of any of it. What we get in this comic though is Jake. He's there with Mr. Terrific, obviously just going by the name of Michael Holt, which is his real name, and doing experiments on him, seeing as to like his powers, and Dick has to battle with potentially suppressing his son's powers in a way, because he doesn't want his son to be taken away from him. But unfortunately, this was going to be obvious. I mean, it's not really a spoiler as such. That wasn't going to be so easy. So the book does kind of go into, you know, what happens when the department you work for comes after the thing that you love the most, being your own flesh and blood. And it does deal with that, and it does take the obvious progression that a story like this would take. You've got Alfred here again with Dick planting those seeds of doubt, and it's really good how Dick is trying to justify things, but Alfred is always kind of like defiant in the most respectful of ways, in order to kind of tell Dick that, look, this isn't necessarily a good thing. This is like a dangerous thing. The world as it is today, it isn't really how it should be. I mean, you're almost like a second son to me and whatnot, but things have gotten really bad, and you need to ask yourself, is this right? And kind of like, it's Alfred saying the same thing again, but kind of in a different way. And he's just trying to open Dick's mind, really. And I like the way in which Alfred does it, because it's not preachy at all. It's just presenting like the other side of the argument. Here you've got obviously the Crusaders breaking in and coming after Jake. And there's a big thing that does actually happen, which I'm not going to show in this video, because I don't think it's fair, and I think you should read it. But yeah, overall, I liked this second issue. I like where it's going. I think it's a cool book. I think it's a cool kind of Elseworld story. And yeah, I would say pick it up. I think it's quite interesting. I want to know as to where it's going to go next, because I'm not really sure. But I think it's a pretty good story that's being told here. I mean, there's not terribly a lot of action in this issue in comparison to the last one. The last one started off with some really cool action, although it was very OTT, over the top. But it was really cool. But I liked it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get the remainder of this series. It's kind of, because getting this and the normal Nightwing run at the same time, I like this more. I'm not even gonna beat about the bush about it. Like, I like this more. This book is better, although it's not really like a normal Nightwing story, and it is like an Elseworld story, and it's not DC Rebirth. I just like it more. I like what's going on. I like what it's about. I like how it's about Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson having to deal with something. Is Dick Grayson at his best? When he's in a situation where he's just like, how do I deal with this? Like in the Nightwing run, Chuck Dixon one, it was like, how does this young man become his own thing? How does he be his own man? How does he be his own hero? How's he gone? He's gone from being Boy Wonder to Nightwing, but under the bat still. So how does he come out of that and just grow into his own thing and do his own thing? He moves to Bloodhaven. He sorts things out himself. He's investigating a case all on his own. That's that story. This story is a similar kind of thing, but it's like the world that he helped create is turning against him. How does he deal with that? And not only that, his son has the one thing that he shouldn't have. Obviously, he must have known this day was coming, but because he's half human, his son, he must have thought, yeah, there's a chance that he's not going to have any powers, which is kind of logical. But yeah, I like where this is going. This isn't the most action-packed issue, but again, it's not preachy. But I mean, because we don't even know as to whether this society is right-wing authoritarian or left-wing authoritarian. We have no clue. There's kind of no indication of that. All we know is that it is authoritarian in its nature, especially when it comes to superpowers, and it's just dealing with that as a cool story, and as to whether you think it's right or wrong or not. I mean, it's easiest to like, when you're reading it, it's easy to understand that obviously they're in the wrong, but again, like I said, it's not preachy. Like a totalitarian kind of police state like this, we know it's not right. And the story doesn't have to preach that to us, because it's obvious. It's showing us kind of like the things that can happen when you're in this kind of situation. And I think that's what is really good about the book, and that's why I like it. And I think you should pick it up. Yeah, pick it up. Yeah, definitely pick it up. I'd say get the first issue if you can as well. So yeah, that's my ramble over. Again, I know I ramble. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I can't help it sometimes. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at BigA85GL. And as always, I will catch you on the next ramble.